Before we engaged Hello Better Digital, we had a system here which is clunky, antiquated, and much needed an upgrade, and it was a really manual, labour-driven process. So what I was trying to achieve was I was trying to streamline a lot of processes, and I was trying to cut out a lot of the manual tasks involved with what should be easily automated everyday tasks. One of the challenges we had in the past before engaging Hello Better Digital was that we had a third-party driven agent online booking platform which didn't really work well for us, and I could see that there was a lot of room for improvement there for both us as an operator but also the customer on the front-facing end of that booking. Our websites are old, clunky and hard to navigate, and I wanted to streamline that process for us and for the consumer. And what would happen is it would take them to a third-party booking website to complete their booking. It just wasn't great. So I wanted to integrate all of those processes into one place so that our back end and their front end was much easier to work with. It's a commonly used practice in the tourism industry for agents to book your services on your behalf and take a cut of it. That's been happening successfully with CityLine for quite some time, for many years. But what I've saw is an opportunity for us to bring that process in-house. I wanted us to be our own agent. We have a good market share on both of the services that we provide daily, and I saw the opportunity for us to be bold and take the step in-house to manage our own bookings and go about it that way, to try and step away from the use of agents and try to avoid some of their fees. With a completely overhauled operating system and a range of automated tasks, the workflow and the workload on our office staff has dramatically reduced in terms of those particular business areas. What this does is it frees them up for other tasks which we struggle to keep on top of when the workload comes on during the summer months when tourism is at its peak. Our daily services are pretty much running themselves, which is fantastic. This is due to all of the automated processes we've put in place for our booking system, our payment gateways, our manifest generation, and we've also introduced a tablet-based viewing system for our drivers as well, which has been a game changer. The time cost savings are hard to quantify with this project coming to completion. Our old system meant that at the end of the day, before the following morning's trips, the person on the phones that night would have to clear the emails, manually input any bookings that came through, and then run off the manifest for the morning. Now that could be an enormous task during summer when bookings would come through thick and fast at all hours of the day from our third-party booking agents, from people contacting us directly via email. And so it was a very manually driven process. That's pretty much reduced down to nothing with all of the automated processes we now have in place. People booking themselves on our website has been huge. They can easily book exactly where they want to go, and they can control the whole process themselves. Any emails that we get from our agents are being scraped via AI. We're using AI in our new business model to automate those processes as well, and that all automatically ends up on the manifest for the driver the next morning. It's just been incredible. We're constantly making improvements to our design, tweaking and changing our workflow as we go along and discover it. Hello Better Digital has been incredible. They're adaptable and they've been efficient at helping us make these changes as we go through this process. The way we've designed the built fleet sync has dramatically reduced our rate of errors and issues with our bookings. Prior to this, because of the large volume of bookings that we would have to process on any given day, there was always going to be room for human error. So by automating a lot of these processes and putting the power of the booking back in the people's hands with an easy to use web interface and booking system, it's dramatically reduced our risk and exposure to missed bookings and errors with bookings. Since we've made the switch to our new system, I believe we've had an increase in traffic to our website. An easy to use system, an easy to navigate system means that people are more likely to complete a transaction instead of having to stop halfway through that process to call us to inquire about something. And so I think that's translating into more bookings. I need to run the numbers on last season to see how it's stacking up, but I feel like we're getting a much greater hit rate of start transaction to completion of transaction. It's also important to note that during this period, all of those bookings are becoming via our website, which means none of those fees are going to agents, and that's been big for us. When we engaged Hello Better Digital, I knew right from the start that they'd be a great fit. They were inquisitive about our problem, and they wanted to help us solve it. They have experience in the tourism and travel sector already, which was a huge bonus for me, and I knew that they were coming from a place of understanding about what we were trying to achieve with our new, completely fully integrated system. They asked lots of questions, and they engaged heavily in the design process. They questioned the status quo into why we were doing things the way we were, and that was brilliant for me because I could tell that they were looking to actively solve our problem better instead of just redesigning what we currently had. The drive by Navanka and his team to solve these problems for us has been incredible. I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn, but I think we've both really enjoyed the process of designing and building this piece of software to help solve this problem for us and also many other companies going forward, we think. The communication and support from Hello Better Digital throughout this process has been fantastic. Phone calls at all hours of the day and texts at all hours of the night. The incredibly hardworking nature of Hello Better Digital has meant that we now have a robust system in place for CityLine and its family of brands for the years to come. A complete booking and charter software system. Navanka and his team have surprised me with their attention to detail and their desire to actively solve all of the small problems that come up along this process and build us a really robust system. Their technical knowledge and approach to problem solving has been fantastic to work alongside. They listen, they suggest, and they deliver. Our project has been incredibly technical and it's been so complex across many different areas, and they've made the whole process seamless.